Hey guys, the Radical One here, and today we're going to look at my Game Boy Color collection. This is everything I've accumulated up until this point. I like to collect all my stuff complete in box to keep it kind of uniform, but enough about that. Let's take a look. First item here, Game Boy Color. I got this Christmas of '98. I just remember how ecstatic I was because the Game Boy finally had color like every other portable system. It was just amazing, and it didn't have a backlight yet, but they had the worm lights to kind of cover down for that. But still, very stoked this came out. And of course, my first two games that Christmas: Zelda, Legend of Zelda, Link's Awakening. I just had added the new mystery dungeon, which was really cool. This is I would say this is my third favorite Zelda game. Very well done, amazing game. I think it has a sad ending, but hey, that's just me. And my second game that Christmas, we have Mortal Kombat 4. Is it playable? Yeah, I was just a fan of Mortal Kombat 4 at the time, so I loved the 3D gameplay. This does not have any of that. Feels unbalanced, but still, I kept it over the years. It was a gift. It's something I asked for. Thanks, Mom. Next game we have here, of course, Super Mario Deluxe. What's cool about this game is it comes with the lost levels as well. You can unlock them, and of course the regular Mario game. But the thing is, though, it's weird because you have to, the way you unlock it is kind of weird. I totally forgot. But the screen resolution is kind of weird. So it's like you have to kind of it's too small to show the full game. So there's like this weird scrolling thing going on. Still a solid game. Happy to have it in the collection. And next game here, Wario Land 2. To be honest with you, I got this a year ago and I still have not played it yet. So maybe I'm in for something good, but still it looked like a solid title. This is back when Nintendo was doing a lot of these platform games that were really cool to me. So hopefully this will be good. Then of course we got Wario Land 3. I just hear a lot of good things about the Wario Land games, so I'm just hoping when I get ready to play them, they'll be solid titles. Next up, we have Legend of Zelda: Oracle of Seasons. This was actually developed by Capcom. Capcom actually made this one. So, I played it years ago, back when it first came out, and I got halfway through it, I remember, but I kind of stopped playing it. I was in the military at the time, so it was like really, busy stuff going on. But I was really enjoying it before I stopped playing it. Solid title. I never did get to play this one, so hopefully I'll get to play it one day. I know they could kind of intertwine. There's a save system thing going on with these games, so you can play either one first. Different things happen, but this is another one made by Capcom. It's funny how Nintendo doesn't let Capcom have their name on the front. It's got to be them only. Maybe it's on the back somewhere. No, I don't see Capcom anywhere, so I don't know if they didn't give them any credit. Anyway, two solid Legend of Zelda games. Next we got Bust a Move Millenium. This is just like any other Bust a Move game. They're pretty much universal. They're all the same. Just ported on all kind of different platforms. It's weird how this says only for Game Boy Color. But I guess the loophole here is that it says Millenium on it. So, like I said, any Bust a Move or Puzzle Bobble game, whatever you want to call them, they're pretty cool games to play. Lots of fun. But they're just all the same usually. Then of course here, I got classic Bobble. I bought this 3 years ago. This one it has scrolling going on in it, so it kind of plays like you don't see everything on screen. You have to kind of walk around and go around the level. So it's pretty cool. But I haven't really played it that much. But still, you don't see it that often at all in box, especially. My box is beat up, but I got it in here for protection, so it won't get any more beat up than it already is. All right, next up is Mega Man Extreme. I got this back when I was an AIT trainer in the military. Solid title, very lots of fun. Capcom did a great job on this game. I'm a big fan of the Mega Man X series. That's my favorite out of the Mega Man games. If you see this game and you like Mega Man, pick it up. And of course, I got Mega Man Extreme 2, an even better game. And what's cool about these games is they actually bridge the gap between the Mega Man X series, like, you know, little loopholes in the storyline. This kind of covers down on that. So, like I said, very solid titles. You'll have a good time if you can find these games, pick them up. Then we had the infamous Resident Evil Gaiden. I picked this game up because recently, because I just kind of like, I think I would appreciate it more than I did when it first came out. When this game first came out, I was in Korea, and I remember it was at the PX, and I remember laughing about this Resident Evil game on the Game Boy, and I didn't give it a chance. But now that I'm a little bit older, well, I am quite a bit older, I'm gonna give the game a chance and check it out. So I played a little bit of it. I gotten used to it. It's actually pretty fun. It's actually a well done game, but it's more of a side story to the original games. Next up, we have a Street Fighter Alpha. This is actually the last game I just recently got for the system. It's actually a good game, man. Very solid title. Well done. I did a good job. I mean, it's hard to imagine Street Fighter with only 2 buttons, the use punch, kick. But for the Game Boy Color, they make it work, man. Seriously, I thought it was a solid title. Very cool. Yeah, this is the only version you could get. Go ahead and pick it up. And then here, this is gonna be funny. This game is totally unplayable on the NES to me because of the sound. But 1942 is a lot better on the Game Boy Color. Well, I don't know if I should say a lot better, but definitely they fixed the sound issue. I picked this, I forgot where I got this from, but I picked it up cheap. You know, I think I got it off Amazon actually. I picked it up cheap. It came in box, missing the manual, but still, it's a good shoot 'em up to have on the Game Boy Color. Next up here, we have a game that a lot of people probably looked over, and it's Alone in the Dark for the Game Boy Color. A very solid title. Just a lot of fun. They really did a good job on this. This game actually shows how powerful the Game Boy Color actually is. Developers did an excellent job on this game. Very solid title. It reminds me of the next game I'm going to show you guys, which is this is a reproduction copy, but Resident Evil. This is the first game remade for the Game Boy Color. It wasn't finished, but some hackers actually translated it, and I think it was finished all the way to the end, but the game doesn't have an ending to it. So this would have been pretty good if Capcom had let it go, but for some reason it didn't reach their qualifications. So, but still, happy that somebody put it together for us, and it's playable. A lot of fun, very interesting game. Next game here, I got this when I was in AIT training with another game I'm going to show you next. 720 on the Game Boy Color. I felt like this game was rushed. The controls are way too sensitive, so it's hard to pull off a lot of moves. I think the game would have been good if it had fixed the control issues. It's kind of weird to play it now, but I don't know. Maybe somebody else would like it. I don't know. I think it could have been better, but oh well. Lost cause. All right, next game I'm going to show you is good old Metal Gear. Now this game, when I got in AIT training, man, this is a game I played at night in my bed, headphones in the ears, just take it away. Metal Gear Solid on the Game Boy. This is actually called Metal Gear Solid Ghost Babel, but they just decided to call it Metal Gear Solid in America. One of the best Metal Gear games out there, to be honest. I mean, it has its own storyline. It has a different storyline from Metal Gear Solid 2, but man, it's just rememberable enemies, good bosses, storyline. This is a really good game. If you see this game, it's probably shot up in price these days, but if you see it, pick it up. You won't regret it. All right, next game here, Mr. Driller. Can't say enough about this game. A solid title. Even though I like the second one better on the Game Boy Advance, but this one's really good. You basically just drill and drill and drill until you get to the bottom. There's really nothing else about it, really. It's a lot of fun. You got to move fast. You got to make sure you don't get crushed. You got to make sure you have air. But I think this is a kind of like a spin-off of the Dig Dug games. They were trying to probably make a sequel to Dig Dug, and they said, hey, let's just make this game, and they ended up calling it Mr. Driller. So solid title. And next game here, I haven't even played this one yet, but I got it from a store. It was closing down, GameStar. They had it for $12. They were having half off. We got it for $6. Croc. I've seen this on PlayStation, but I never played the series, so can't really say much about this one. Here's one that probably nobody knew existed on the Game Boy Color. As Your Dreams, the PlayStation 1 title. This game came out for the Game Boy Color, which I was shocked about. I haven't played it that much, actually, but I played the PS1 version a lot. It's kind of like, in a way, kind of like Pokemon in a way. So if you like those type of games, you'll probably like it. But it has a lot of cool features here. I didn't even know, like link cable, Super Game Boy, cool. And then you can play it on the regular Game Boy in black and white if you want to do that. Let's see the next game here. I haven't played this one yet. Defy for the Game Boy Color. I believe this is the third game, because the first two came out on the Super Nintendo. So this is the third game, and there's a fourth game on the Game Boy Advance, and then there's a fifth game, which is a remake of the second game on the DS. But haven't played it yet, so I can't really tell you too much about it. Next up, Mario Tennis. I believe it's made by a company called Camelot. They did a really good job on the Mario sports titles for the handhelds. I even think they might have worked on some of the system games. I'm not really sure though. But a very fun title. Has its own little storyline. Very cool. They even decided to make golf fun again. This is a good golf game too. If you see Mario Golf, Mario Tennis, all those titles are really solid. A lot of fun. Kirby's Tilt and Tumble. Excuse me. This one is weird because I haven't really. This one I remember a guy was playing it in the army and he was like moving his Game Boy around. I was like, "What are you doing, man?" And I don't know. It's just a really quirky game. You definitely couldn't play it on the Game Boy Player, but it has to be portable. But or maybe you could play it on the Game Boy Player somehow. You just have to tilt the whole system. But just a quirky game. Ham Hams Unite. This is another pretty cool game. I played a little bit of the beginning of it. Seems like a solid title, but I haven't got far in it. I put it down. All right, next up, we have Pac-Man Special Edition. This one has 2 games on it. It comes with, let's see here, the Pack Attack. So you get Special Edition and Pack Attack. So 2 games in one. Very cool. Here's one that I did not know about. S11. This is a shoot 'em up. I almost said shmup. Seems like a pretty solid one too. Nothing to write home about, but still, it reminds me of something like just above average. So definitely a cool game to have. And it's also cool to know the Sunsoft has something to do with it. All right, so now we're getting into some of the expensive territory. If you guys are familiar with Way Forward, they made one of our favorite games, Shantae, but here's one of the earlier games they made, Windy, Every Which Way. This is based off the cartoon, and look at this right here, +3 levels exclusively for the Game Boy Advance. So if you put this in the Game Boy Advance, you get three extra levels. I like when they do stuff like that. But this one is pretty cool because it plays it's like Gravity. Like you could jump on the ceiling. Well, not jump, but you float to the ceiling, and then you could play the game like on the ceiling, jumping around. It's pretty cool stuff. Solid title. You might laugh at me for these next 2 titles, but these are by Way Forward as well. Sabrina, the animated series, Zap. Another solid game by Way Forward. Did a good job on these games. If you like the Shantae games, and even the Every Which Way game, definitely pick these up. Don't let the cover fool you. These are solid platformers. Very cool to have. And also I have the other game, Spooked. I can't remember what the difference was between both of them, but there's probably one's a sequel to the other, but I just can't remember which one is. But like I said, you want to own these games. I think they're still fairly cheap, even in box. I mean, I think in box it might go for $20, but anything more than that, I just probably will get the cart only. And the last game here, well, not the last game. This is going to be the second to last game. Is Shantae. Now you look at Shantae. You look at this box closely. this is a reproduction box. My original Shantae I had in box, I sold it for quite a lot of money, and with that money I bought this Shantae, this reproduction Shantae, and a couple other games that I wanted. I don't really like having expensive games in my collection. If I could use them to get something else and I still have a way to play it, I'll do that. So I'm totally fine with this. Like I said, if I had kept it, the original version, I wouldn't want to touch it because it's worth so much money. And the last game here I wanted to show you guys, this is probably my holy grail for the Game Boy Advance. Well, I said that again. This next game, alright, sorry, I had one more game to show off. Grandia for the Game Boy Color. This one is was translated into English, solid title. I haven't really played that much of it, but I liked what I played. Yeah, I can't really tell you more about it yet. Now we're up to the last Holy Grail game, and that game is Magical Chase for the Game Boy Color. My buddy Andy picked this game up for the Turbo Graphic quite a few years ago, well, a couple years ago actually. And I said, you know what, man, maybe I should get a cool title like that. And I found out the game was released on the Game Boy, and both games are pretty similar to each other, so I went ahead and picked it up. So I got Magical Chase, one of the Holy Grail games for the Game Boy Color, and just, man, it's just amazing to have this. But as you can see, I'm very careful with it because, you know, I don't want the box all beat up. I got it complete. I know they make reproductions of this game out there. A guy was trying to sell me one in English, but I was like, no, I'm good, man. I got this one, good to go. So anyways, guys, that is my Game Boy Color collection. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'm going to do more videos like this in the future. If you guys like this one, make sure you give me a thumbs up. And yeah, I will see you guys later. Stay radical. Hey guys, before we go though, I want to talk about the Game Boy Paradise group. Basically, this is a Game Boy group where we talk about our passions and love for the Game Boy system. We do trades, we have general discussions, we do live videos, and just do all kind of cool stuff talking about our favorite portable system. I'll leave a link in the description below. Hope you guys join. See you later.